When I see stuff like this, it makes me want to give up hope for society. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Oliver Mack. Welcome to Oliver Rants. And in this video, we got to talk about a pastor who was robbed at gunpoint while giving his sermon. I kid you not. Let's check it out. All right, this is my Instagram page. If you're not following my Instagram page, the Right-Winged Angel, I don't know what you're doing with your life, so go ahead and follow that. Check this video out.
Yo. All right. Yo, all right.
Wow.
Nobody move.
Look at him in the back. He can't even believe what's going on. It's just like, really? Are you really robbing a church service? These people are ridiculous. And this is in New York, by the way. Of course, it's in New York. So let's check out what the pastor had to say about this incident.
And as I was preaching, I seen 3 to 4 armed men come in. And I just told my church, because see, when you're a shepherd, right, you have to lead your sheep. You have to lead your sheep and you have to protect your sheep. And when I seen the armed men come in, you know, it was specifically for me. And of course my wife. And when I seen them come into the sanctuary with their guns, I told everybody, get out. Everybody just get out, right? Everybody get out. I didn't know if they wanted to shoot the church up.
Now, I didn't see, I saw the video. I saw the video. I don't know if he said that before the video started, but I didn't see him tell anybody to get out, but maybe he did. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Or if they were just coming for a robbery. And they were all black men. And they had...
Yeah, he had to make sure he pointed that out, which is pretty disgusting because, you know, the whole Black Lives Matter movement and the black community is supposed to stick together because white people are the biggest threat to black people, when actuality that couldn't be further from the truth, because we have instance after instance every single day where black people are robbing and killing other black people. So this whole narrative about white supremacy and about white people being a threat to black people is completely false, and he just proves it.
Had masks, but I can see their face, and they came in and they took all of my wife's jewelry and took all of my jewelry,
so I mean, this goes to show you, like, if you're a pastor, please don't be out there flossing with jewelry and nice cars, because there are people out there watching you, and there are people out there that will try to take that from you. So you kind of, you know, put other people in danger by going out there and being flossy and flashy with what you have, because there's a lot of jealous people out there. And apparently these people who went in and robbed this church were jealous of this pastor and what he has. And you see that a lot in the black community. We have this crabs in a bucket mentality where when you see somebody who's excelling and having all the things that you want, instead of asking that person, hey, how did you get that? Or could you mentor me so I can be in the same position that you're in? No, they don't want that. They rather take from you. So they'll watch you as you grow up, as you blow up and get money and get all the things that they want. They'll watch you and they'll stand right beside you. And as soon as you're vulnerable, they're going to try to take it from you. And this is just the sick state of the black community today. We can't even help each other out. You try to help your fellow brother or sister out, and they're just going to take from you. You offer your home to somebody who says they're in need, they don't have anything, then they end up robbing you or telling somebody what you have, and then their friends end up robbing you. So it's just so ridiculous that these people will sit up there and talk about how much Black Lives Matter and how white people are a problem. But all these things that we see happening, there's countless stories every single day about black people doing horrible things to other black people.
And then they left. However, these young men didn't know that cameras were on, and we know what car you was driving. They was driving in a white Mercedes CLA Benz. We know what car you're driving in.
That's so crazy. You're in a Mercedes Benz, but you got to go rob pastors while they're giving their sermon. Tell me how that makes sense. Is the car stolen? If the car is stolen, then I get it. But if you actually paid for that, why you got to go rob pastors? And that's what people fail to realize. So there's this misconception that the left tries to put on black people, where it's like, well, black people are only out there committing crimes because they're poor, because they don't have anything, because they have to commit crimes, or their children will go hungry, or they'll end up on the street. No, that's false. They're actually committing crimes so they can floss and flash, so they can go out there and buy Mercedes. They're not going to go out there and buy a Corolla. They could probably go out there and work a regular job to buy a Corolla, but that's not good enough for a lot of these black people in the hood. They want Mercedes, they want BMWs, they want Audis, they want all that. And they want jewelry, they want watches, they want that kind of stuff. And that kind of stuff, you're not going to get working a regular job. So they have to go out and rob people. They have to go out and commit crimes and sell drugs so they can get what they want, not what they need. They already have what they need.
And we also know that you switched your clothes in the car, because I ran after them. When they turned the guns and went down, I ran after them. When I seen them across the street going to get in the car, I didn't have my car keys. So I told them to get my car keys, and I drove to run after them. Lo and behold, to me, I had drove by them, but we know that they changed clothes and they took the masks off and then they left.
Yeah. Ridiculous. 100% ridiculous. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I grew up in the hood, so when I was growing up, hood people always had respect for churches. They always had respect for church people. They never made fun of people when they were saying gospel songs. They always respected pastors and priests and people who, even older people in the community that preached the word. They always respect those people. They didn't really touch those people. But now it's like there's no holds barred. It's like there's no kind of decorum. They said there's honor amongst thieves. There's no honor amongst thieves anymore. They don't care. They would practically rob their own mother and father, sisters and brothers, just to get what they want. They would kill their own mother, father, sister, and brothers just to get what they want. It's all about how can I get what I want when I want it. And these people have no patience. They're not willing to save up money to get the things that they want. No, they want it, and they want it now. And if they can't get it now, then they're going to try to make a way to get it now. And a lot of times that way they end up committing crimes. And it's just sad. I just don't understand how we got here. This lawlessness, and there's just no sense of, hey, that's off limits. I'm not supposed to do that. I mean, people would have, even the murderers and killers in the neighborhood, like they would make sure that they wouldn't touch somebody that they were trying to kill while their children or while the woman was present. Like they would do it in a certain way where it would be like, okay, it's just me and that person I'm trying to go after. But these days, they don't care. They'll do it in the middle of the street. They'll do it in broad daylight. They'll do it in the middle of traffic. I mean, I've seen videos in my hometown of New Orleans where people will get out in the middle of traffic and just start shooting at somebody. And why do we have that? It's because of these woke DAs that are unwilling to process criminals. They're unwilling to prosecute criminals, I should say, because they believe that processing criminals, doing all these things and making sure we get criminals off the street is somehow racist, because we have a lot of these people who are committing crimes. They happen to be black. That doesn't mean that processing or prosecuting these criminals is racist. It just means that the majority of the people that are committing crimes are black. And that's a problem. So you get to the root of the problem. You don't say that the prosecution is a problem because the people happen to be black. No, you say the problem is that there are too many black people committing crimes. So that's when you focus on, okay, why is that happening? It has nothing to do with racism. It has everything to do with fatherless homes. It has everything to do with poverty that's not created by anybody else but the people in poverty. If you don't get out there and you don't try to get an education, or if you don't try to get out there and find a good job, then you're going to end up in poverty. That's just what it is. It's not a white man that's holding people back and saying, well, I don't like you, so I'm going to make sure you stay in poverty. No, this is self-inflicted wounds. These are things that are self-inflicted. People are doing these things, and instead of looking to themselves to say, okay, what can I do differently to get myself out of this situation? They want to blame racism because black leaders are telling them, hey, it's not you that's doing this. It's white people that are doing this. So it's a vicious cycle that these people never get out of, because the key element of getting yourself out of this situation is to take personal accountability for the decisions that you have made to end up in this situation. But we got places like New York where this stuff is just happening every day. They're unwilling to prosecute these criminals, so these criminals just get emboldened to commit more crime. This situation happened in Brooklyn, New York, where the crime is just out of control. There's lawlessness. People think they can just do what they want and get away with it because these DAs are not going to do anything to them. They're not going to end up going to jail. And if they do end up going to jail, they're going to end up getting out anyway. So what's the point? They don't care. My solution to this problem of crime, especially in the black community, is harsher sentencing and just harsher policing. That's it. I mean, when you have these crimes going on, you have these things happening every single day, it's because people think they can get away with it. Once people stop believing that they can get away with this stuff, then the crime will be dramatically reduced. 100%. I am 100% sure that if you start treating criminals like criminals and victims like victims instead of treating criminals like victims, then we will see some change. But until then, we'll continue to see situations like this where people are going up into a church while a pastor is preaching and robbing the pastor at gunpoint. What do you think the people, if this is you that's done this, where do you think you're going when you die? Do you not care? You know, they said they're trying to take church out of schools. Religion out of schools. They don't want you to pray in school. They don't want to teach you about religion in school. I think we need to bring that back, because the lawlessness we see can also be tied to the fact that people have no sense of religion. They have no sense of purpose. They have no sense of God and you know, what happens when you do bad things. Nobody has a sense of that. We've forgotten about that. You know, I grew up in a church environment. My mom would take us to church every Sunday. So I understood, hey, even if I don't get caught doing something bad, there's always somebody watching me, and I'm being judged by God. And if I continue to go down the path of doing wrong, then I'm going to end up going to hell when I die. And I don't want to do that. So I better get my act together. But these people, they don't care about that. They have no sense of that. It's just whatever. They do whatever they want, and they think there's no consequences. So they just continue. But we need to get back to, you know, teaching our children about God and about the consequences that are not just tied to going to jail or getting shot. There's consequences in the spiritual realm that we have to worry about. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Visit the description section so you get links to my social media and also my merch. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.